It's this week's football team of the week. Obviously, there was some big wins for Mayo in the Connacht football final, beating Galway by 14 points to 13. Meets off Kildare. Dublin beat Laois out the gate 223 to 7 points, and then Ulster, Donegal, and Cavan set up a final after beating Armagh and Down respectively. So starting off from goals, it has to be Sean Patton, just brilliant with the kickouts as usual. I think we saw how difficult Armagh found it up against the press of Donegal. So as ever, great season that the former soccer player is having, and as ever, just looks really, really good. I think the likes of Stephen Cluxton probably at times had a little bit of trouble with Laois and the fact that they pushed four men up front, but to press his kick out, that faded off as the game went on. But I think Patton deserves to get in there. Full back line now, you're going to see a bit of Mayo with Oisin Mullen, who drove forward from the back throughout the game. Very good performance, and I think that Mayo back line, at times they were left exposed back there, but they survived pretty well. And Shane Walsh was obviously the star turn up in the forward line, but Mullen certainly wasn't marking him. But Pádraig Faulkner, he was really, really good and inspirational for Cavan to get a goal line clearance at one stage as they came from miles behind to beat Down. It was 192 points at one stage, so to come from 10 points behind and do what they did is no small feat. Owen Gallagher gets in at cornerback here, just driving forward all the time. He's such an athletic player and one of the many guys that can beat you from deep on this Donegal team, and I think that's why everyone rates him so highly heading into this season. Now James McCarthy, he's back and lording it. He's just a Rolls Royce of a player in that half back line for Dublin. Now I know they had it unbelievably easy against Laois in the heel of the hunt. I mean, they weren't flowing brilliantly in that first half and weren't always getting great ball inside to their forward line, but he's such a calming presence back there, and it's no surprise to have him in here. You could put Ryan McHugh in here as well. And by the same token, Donegal had a very easy afternoon's work. So maybe you can kind of frame it in that context of how well did they perform given the circumstances that they were in. And, it was pretty easy games for both of them. I think Liam Kerr, his pace for Down, he had to go off eventually. But he looks a great prospect for Down. And he rated very highly and had a good performance against Cavan. Beside him then, Peadar Mogan. So he's just looking like a serious player. He's like Jack McCaffrey with a Donegal accent, the way he's going at the moment. We saw the goal he scored against Tyrone in the league, and a very similar one against Armagh at the weekend, and pretty much kind of that decided the game, or broke the game, we'll say, at that stage. So midfield then, Matthew Rowan was dominant for Mayo against Galway. The way he burst through the defence at times, scored a beautiful just straight down the middle point with the laces of his boot at one point in the second half. So really good performance from him. And Brian Fenton beside him, he had it. Basically, he lorded it against Laois. They weren't able for him, just driving through. And that was interesting. At one stage, he tried a drop shot to go for a goal, and a fantastic save because it was probably going for the roof of the net. But not too many lads are trying to drop shots these days. But Brian Fenton looking as good as ever. Half forward line then, Michael Langan is becoming just one of the best half forwards in the country, and I'm sure he could play midfield anywhere you want him to, really. But he was really good once more, and certainly merits his place in here. His form just goes from good to better to great, I suppose, is the way it's looking at the moment. Paul Conroy is probably lucky he didn't get a red card for leaving one in, if we will, on Aidan O'Shea. And the fact that he was the one leading the charge as Galway tried to pare back the deficit against Mayo, kind of that was what got him into reckoning here, and I think he deserves a mention. Now there are other guys that you could put in here. Like Niall Scully missed a goal chance for Dublin, but he was good, lively, delivering the ball in. Killian O'Sullivan for Meath. Matthew Costello is also someone we could have fitted in here, and then Madden and McKiernan for Cavan certainly got 3 points each, so they made an impact. In the Jordan Morris then, he followed up his 3-goal display against Wicklow with another goal here. Brilliant finish against Kildare, low to the net underneath the goalkeeper, and kind of helped cement that comeback from Meath as they turned a 6-point deficit into a fairly heavy victory for a finish 5-9 to 15 points. So Morris is on the crest of a wave. If he can keep that going against Dublin, who knows? Well, look, let's be honest, we all think Dublin will win that, but maybe Meath can give him a serious game. There was a couple of Shane Walshes that featured in the conversation for the full forward line. The one to miss out is the man from Meath, but he's just looking a really good player at the moment. But Shane Walsh for Galway is like, he's looking like the complete package at this stage. Would have loved to have Damien Comer playing with him in the full forward line, but obviously, well, throughout the game, Comer came on, but it's pretty clear that he's not quite at 100% at the moment. But some of the points that Shane Walsh got were absolutely sensational. Scored 3 from play and another 4 from frees, and it's just he can have it any which way. A couple of the late frees that he took from the right flank with the left foot. I still do wonder if Gary Sykes could have taken them, because he has a history of hitting over beauties and he is left-footed. So I thought that was a little unusual. But then again, it's hard to take the ball off Shane Walsh when good foot or bad. Thomas Galligan was key to that comeback from Cavan. He scored 3 points, 1 from Mark. Exceptional display. And Jerome Johnson, I know that Down obviously capitulated for a finish, and they'll wonder where the leaders were when they needed them. But Jerome Johnson came up with 5 points. One of those was from a Mark. Another exceptional display from him. A couple other guys, we could have easily put Kieran Kilkenny in here. Shane Walsh of Meath, like I said. Even Cormac Costello came in and knocked over quite a few points. But that's my team. Let me know what players you would have put in there, who I should or shouldn't have put in, and any other thoughts you might have based on that.